Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world. My name is Ivan Temelkov, founder and CEO of Razor Sharp Digital, the world's #1 human marketing agency where we work with brands and entrepreneurs and small businesses and helping them forge their digital footprint using multi-channel marketing, emotional engagement, and human-to-human business practices. The ones who failed the most are really those who truly succeeded. That is what I want to talk to you about today. And why should you listen to this? Why should you tune into this? First of all, if you're someone who has failed, if you're someone who has been told that you're not getting anywhere in life or in business, this is for you. I've been there, friends. I've failed many times. And as a result, I have succeeded also a lot. So that is what we're going to talk about. Why should you listen to this broadcast? First of all, I've been in the digital marketing space for 25 years now. I've also been involved in numerous business ventures, including one of my own that I'm currently on, and that is Razor Sharp Digital, which is what you're seeing on your screen. If you want to learn more about me, my story, and get the whole 9 yards, you can check out the link below, ivantemelkov.com. Make sure you head on the About tab on my website. And I also watch some videos there. Make sure to subscribe to my podcast, The Roz Project. I can guarantee you that it is most definitely a life-changing podcast, something that is going to help you thrive, not only in life, but in family and business as well. Now let's talk about failure. Failure isn't the same as inability. A lot of people misconstrue the meaning of failure. Let's face it. If someone has called you a failure before, chances are they have attributed to the fact that you are incapable of doing something, whether it's in life or in business. And that is 100% false. Some of the most successful people, some of the happiest people have failed more times than I can probably count. And I can count quite a bit. You get my point. Failure isn't the same as inability. It is very commonly attributed to your inability to do something, whether it's in life, your relationships, family, business, whatever it might be. Failure is not the same thing as your inability. Success is a derivative of many failures. Think about that for a second. Success is the result of you failing. Now, most people will tell you that success doesn't come from failure. And I will tell you this much, they're full of shit. Because I don't know about you, but every millionaire that I know, every successful business person that runs multi-million-dollar companies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or more, is a prime example of the fact that their success has come from a series of failures. And this is important to understand. Please keep that in mind. You will fail many times. In fact, for me personally, I fail many times throughout the course of the day. Now, the one thing that I look forward to is that one single epic win, because it's worth it. All of those failures will attribute to one massive epic win. Maybe landing your biggest client, or finding your true happy spot in life, or reaching a goal, reaching a dream. You know, it's going to be through a series of failures, a series of trials. Excuse me, I'm taking a drink. Failure and seasonality yields success. Now, what does that really mean? Failure and seasonality. Well, failure can be attributed to seasonality. Think about that for a second. In business specifically, for me personally, I've been doing digital marketing for 25 years. I started at the age of 14. I'm 40 years old now, so technically 26 years. Over the last 26 years, by going through the school of hard knocks, aka Google, I have tried and failed many different things, many times. And over the years have built up seasonality of failures, or at least how most people will see that. Even to this day, most people will look at me and say, well, you're just a failure. You really aren't, haven't really succeeded in anything. And those are the people that usually either don't know me. Well, it's usually the people that don't know me. And so that's the point that I want to make to you here is that failure and seasonality yield success. The more you fail, the more you become comfortable with failure, the more you're going to succeed in the long term because you're getting more experience and seasonality. And over the course of a long period of time, you're going to gain the experience and ultimately be able to mitigate those failures, where they'll start resulting in positive outcomes, not in negative outcomes. Failure is a matter of perception. You see, many people think of failure from a negative connotation standpoint. They think that failure has a negative outcome. And because that is what we have been taught traditionally as a society in a mediocre world that we live in, that failure is a negative outcome. And I used to think that way for a very long time until I realized that failure is nothing more than just an experience. The more you fail, the more you're going to experience. The more you experience, the more you'll get a sense of comfort in something. And I'll give you a prime example. So when I first started building websites with WordPress, when I first started doing paid media advertising with Google Ads and Facebook ads, when I first started, to learn how to do copywriting, how to tell stories, I failed a lot. And, most people saw that as a negative outcome because I wasn't getting results. To me, failure was just an experience. And in the beginning of my career, I used to think that, maybe I am a failure because I was led to believe that based on other people's perception of failure, that I had negative outcome, that failure was a negative outcome. And I allowed that to enter my mind. Now, as soon as I started thinking differently and changed my perception of failure to where I no longer looked at it from a negative standpoint, because that is how most people look at failure, amazing things started to happen. Because I realized that, the first time, I'm not going to get the result. The second time, I'm not going to get the result. The third time, I'm not going to get the result, and so on and so forth. But the challenge is to keep going. And that's the difference in perception. Again, failure is a matter of perception. To some people, it's a negative outcome. To others, it's just an experience. And this is extremely important to understand. I'll tell you this, for example, I've been on YouTube for 11 years now. And I still to this day feel like I haven't gotten it quite right. And I know that it's going to take a long period of time. So again, failure is a matter of perception. If you keep thinking that failure is nothing more than negative outcomes, then that's exactly what you're going to achieve. If you think failure is experience, then just keep failing. And the more you fail, the more you're going to learn. And the more you're going to build up that seasonality. Failing isn't quitting. Unless you choose that to be your outcome. You see, most people attribute failing to quitting. They think that it's one and the same. And it's not. Quitting is giving up. Failing is just not getting something right, not getting the result out of something that you have tried. Again, failing isn't quitting. And I think most people look at failing from a standpoint of the fact that it's the same as quitting, and it's not. There's a drastic difference between the two. Failing is that you tried 1, 2, 3 or more times. You didn't get the result that you were looking for, but you didn't quit. So failing is not quitting. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, because it's easier to quit. It's easier to give up. That is what most people do. They choose to give up because it's easier to wash your hands away as opposed to keep going. I used to think that way. I used to think that, you know what, I failed once, twice, 3 times. I wouldn't get it right, so I'd quit. And you know what? I wasn't getting anywhere. And that's because I gave up too early and allowed other people's perception of the fact that failure to them was quitting. And I started to think that way. Therefore, I emulated those actions and I was quitting. So failing isn't quitting unless you choose to that to be your outcome. But failing is not quitting. Learning to fail is developing a thicker skin for long-term sustainability. I want you to understand something. Every successful person that I know, first of all, there's one common denominator with every successful person. When I say successful person, I'm talking about people that have built profitable businesses. 1, 2, 3, or more profitable businesses. And there's one common denominator, and that is learning to fail over a long period of time to the point to where it has developed a thick skin, to where you have built such strong resilience that no matter what comes at you, you can tackle it. That is what successful people have done. Every successful person that I have met that has, and again, successful meaning people that have built profitable businesses, specifically, people that have found happiness in life and in business, have failed many, 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 many times. I know people who have gone through multiple divorces, people who are ex-convicts, people who have built successful businesses and then literally lost everything overnight. And the most common denominator with those people is that they have learned about the importance of developing a thicker skin, building that resilience for long-term sustainability. And honestly, now more than ever, with what's happening with everything in the world, with racism, politics, COVID-19, now more than ever, you need to understand the intricacy of failure and how the ones who fail the most are really those who truly succeed. You will fail 40,000 times, and it's worth that 40,000 times to have that one epic win. That's what people don't understand, because most people think that everything that they set their mind to, whether it's in life or in business, it's going to result in an immediate win. And that is far, far from reality, friends. Far from reality. This is what a lot of you don't understand. So again, learn how to fail fast in life and in business. The more you fail, the more you experience. Failure isn't the same as inability. Success is a derivative of many failures. Failure and seasonality yield success over a long period of time. Failure is just a matter of perception. So if you look at failure as a negative outcome, that's exactly what you're going to get. It's about perception. Failing isn't quitting unless you choose that to be your outcome. Learning to fail is developing a thicker skin for long-term sustainability. Take all of this to heart. This is all free information that I'm giving to you. There's a lot of people out there on the internet right now that will charge you thousands of dollars for this information. And I'm giving it to you for free because I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe that you can accomplish your goals and dreams. You can build that business. You can do whatever you set your mind to. But one of the biggest things you have to understand is that failure is essential to success in anything you set your mind to. If you enjoyed this video, friends, let me know in the comment section below. Once again, my name is Ivan Temelko, founder and CEO of Razor Sharp Digital, the world's #1 human marketing agency, where we work with brands and entrepreneurs and small businesses and helping them forge their digital footprint using multi-channel marketing emotional engagement, and human-to-human business practices. You can check out more about my story in the ticker below at ivantemilkov.com. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast, The Roz Project. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong with that. There's tons and tons and tons of free information. And in fact, I have to actually mention this. I almost forgot. At the end of August, I have a very special guest who was on ABC's Shark Tank. I believe still has some involvement with ABC's Shark Tank. So I'm pretty excited to have him on the show. Definitely go and subscribe to the Roz Project. And with that being said, if there's anything that I can do to help you, you know where to find me. I'm most active on Instagram, but you can find me on just about any social network. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for tuning in on this late edition of Depths and Widths. And until tomorrow, take care. Bye-bye.